Okay, hello. Good day. Good, yeah, it's just about midday. I hope you guys are all keeping well. Welcome to another edition of Papa Bear. And I want to thank you again for taking time to be part of this conversation. As usual, we talk about fatherhood in its different forms and facets. And I like to have guests, and I have a very special guest with me today who is going to give us a very interesting story about his life and his fatherhood. So normally I don't like to give names on the show, but it's if you're comfortable telling people who you are. But you're a celeb, so people will know you anyway. So maybe you can introduce yourself.
I'm Lisimba. I'm a father. I'm a writer. I'm a book reviewer. A video producer. Yeah, so many titles.
So he has just keep switching them. Change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and a husband. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And we got acquainted actually through social media, and it's a very interesting story. He's had an Engage talk. By the way, you should if you're on Engage, their website, or on their Facebook page, just look for Hilary Lisimba. It's a very interesting talk that he has. He has a Facebook page of his own as well. So please check that out as well. What's the page called? It's just your name.
Hilary Lisimba. I like being me.
You don't have a pseudo or
No.
Yeah. Well, I can learn a bit from that, but yeah. So that's who he is. We were having a conversation just a short while ago about fatherhood, and you were telling me how you made a decision as a family to have your wife more or less relocate to another country, and so you've been raising your son, who's about 5 years old now, not on your own, but you've been the primary caregiver.
Yeah.
What has that been like?
It's been exciting. You see, the general notion is usually that a kid is a lot of work. Okay, it's true that a kid is a lot of work, but there's a lot of satisfaction that comes in raising a kid that you can only understand once you start raising that kid.
Okay.
And like seeing a kid go through milestones, seeing this kid trusting. You know, when you are the primary caregiver to a kid, he sees you as this super person.
Super dad.
Yes. Who must be having answers to almost everything. So even the most stupid person on planet Earth, once you have a kid, this kid does not see you as stupid. They see you as very bright.
Superhero. Yeah.
And there's nothing as good as feeling like a superhero. Yeah. It gives you that will to just try, learn more, share more. And kids also teach you so much by just being kids.
Yeah.
Like I'll say, I've learned so much patience from my kid. Yeah. There's patience and forgiveness, because there are times when he does something and we fight. Like I say things to him, I tell him go sleep, I don't know see,
be out of my presence, get out of my presence.
Yes. And he can't stay 2 minutes away from me. Like he goes and 2 minutes pass and you see him back.
He's back.
Yeah, he's forgotten all that you guys were calling about. He's smiling.
Yeah,
he still sees you as daddy. He loves you. You see, adults tend to hold anger for so long.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So it's one thing I've learned from him, and I'm trying to also just be like that. Yeah.
So it's like he's teaching you. You're learning from him.
I'm learning forgiveness. He has this big heart that I don't think.
Yeah.
I've never seen a forgiving person like that kid.
Does he get it from either of you, that forgiving spirit, or he just has it?
I think he gets a bit of it from the mom. But then the bigger percentage is also just how he is. Yeah. Like he hardly takes 10 minutes remembering the same thing. Yeah.
Forgive and forget.
And you won't even notice that you guys actually fought.
Yeah. Kids are special that way.
Yeah.
So you're the primary caregiver. I mean, I don't even want to talk about now your relationship with your wife and all that stuff. You give that in another talk somewhere else. People can look for that in the Engage talk. But I'm just wondering, as a dad, I mean, you're essentially playing both roles, the mom and the dad. Are there things that you feel you're not equipped to do as a man raising this child more or less on your own?
I think because I just didn't have breast milk. But if I had that, I think I would have just done well as a mom as well.
Really?
Yeah. I think parenting is in the mind. It's not in the actions. When I was left this kid, I was first of all skeptical that I could manage.
Okay.
Because I had never raised a kid elsewhere. I'm the firstborn, yes, but my parents always had mom around and a house help, so we never really took so much roles in raising this kid.
Yeah.
So I have a kid, and I do not know things like colic. I do not know diaper rash. I do not know all those things. So I'm learning on the job. But again, the truth is, even the world's best mother most probably learned on the job, because no one is actually born knowing how to take care of a kid. You learn these things.
True. That's true.
Yes. And if your mind is open to learning, even if you are dad, you'll just learn. Like I'm telling you right now, if a kid cries, I'll tell you that's probably a cry for hunger. Yes.
Yeah. You know the top 5, 6, 7 things that they can cry about, and you know how to identify.
Yes.
Okay.
It's because I was learning on the job. Like every other woman learns on the job. There are mamas who give birth and they can't even breastfeed because they do not know how to make the kid latch on that. It happens.
That is true.
Yes.
That is true. Yeah.
So it's about learning everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then, your son, I mean, you obviously have other people in your son's life who have both parents actively present, because I know we're talking about this earlier. Your wife is present. Well, she's involved. There might be a separation in terms of physical, but she's very involved in the raising of your son. But there are people who have both parents present. Do you see like there's any difference between those kids and your son?
What happens is, you see, there are fathers who stay with the mothers to the kids, but this dad is a drunkard, for instance. So he's there, but is he present?
Not really.
So you may be living in the same. There are even people who live in the same house, but they sleep in different rooms.
That's true.
There are so many people. So I think presence is not about being there physically. It's more about the emotional bit. Like I would say, the mom has not been around, but they talk on video call every day and for so long that this mom knows today my kid ate this. The kid knows today my mom was dressed in this.
Yeah.
So she may not be there physically, but there's that presence. You get like you can't tell this kid anything else that this is not your mom, because he knows virtually, literally, actually everything about the mother.
Yeah.
On every other single day. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, there's so many ways that you can look at this whole discussion about raising a child as a father. And the truth is, you're not a single dad. Both parents are involved. There's just a logistical issue that you're working around. And there's many ways to look at it. I know there's probably people who have a lot of questions about your relationship with your wife and how that has affected your fatherhood. I don't know if you want to go into that, but as a father, what would you say to somebody out there who is considering taking the same step as you? How would you advise a single dad or somebody who's raising a child on his own as a man? What are the things that a man needs to look out for when raising a child? What do you think?
I think I've always believed when it comes to raising children, men are just crybabies. You can you feel you can't raise the kid because you've not been left with this kid to raise.
Yeah.
In my case, it's my wife who left. We decided she leaves.
Yeah.
But there's someone who the wife leaves because of death. You see, now that's not
a whole different dynamic. Yeah.
So what happens in such a case? You have to just take this kid and raise as a man.
Yeah.
And once you have this kid, the first thing is to open your mind to knowing I have to do this, number one. Number two, I will not fail. Because if you are not sure that you'll manage, then you tend to do things half-heartedly because you are doubting yourself to begin with.
Yeah.
And the moment you have self-doubt, you may be the best father, but because of that doubt, you tend to not give it the much you can give.
Yeah.
So the first thing is just believe in yourself that I will do this.
Yeah.
Come what may, this kid has to survive. This kid has to grow up very well.
Yeah.
And this kid has to feel like he has a parent.
Yeah. You know, that's so interesting because I was reading a quote the other day, and they're saying that a lot of men have this whole crybaby. I like that word, crybaby, and I can't do this. Life is so difficult. It's so hard to be a man and all that. Instead of just dealing with it, we don't have the same attitude when we deal with other issues in our lives. When you're talking about work, men have a sense of hustle. You want to work, you want to do something. But when it comes to raising kids, we feel, oh, I can't do this. Is mom's job, or this is too hard for me. So we need to have the same attitude that we approach work and other things that we are passionate about. We need to be passionate about our kids and the success of our children. This is what I'm hearing you say. Okay, cool. I think we don't have too much time, so I think we're going to stop it there. I don't know if you have anything, a parting shot for this particular segment.
Just raise your kid, because there's nothing as beautiful as a kid who sees the dad and knows my dad likes this, my dad hates this, and my dad is like this. It's so fulfilling for both the dad and the kid.
Yeah. Get to know your child. Let your child know who you are as well.
Yes.
Wow, awesome. Thanks. Thanks for being part of this. I appreciate it. I wish we had more time. We can have a lot more.
We can have many other more.
We can do more sessions. Thanks. Open invitation. Thank you. So again, as usual, if you have any thoughts or feedback about this video, please feel free to share your thoughts on the video, comment, like it, subscribe to the channel, and share this video. Let it go out there. Let people see what's happening. Please follow Hillary on social media. Hear what he has to say. He's hilarious, by the way. He also writes a column on Nation on. It's called Daddy Diaries. Daddy Diaries on Tuesdays. It's online, and buy the newspaper so that you can read it. And let's support him as he grows his profile. And yeah, please let me know what you think about all of this. So until next time, cheers.